What's going on, guys? Styx here with the Token Minorities, bringing you the team builder for week 8 of season 6 of the CPC, and this week we are up against none other than the TTM killer himself, AsterJ, and his Montreal Habsols. And before I get into the team, just a reminder that if you like this video or found it helpful, please leave a like, drop a comment, click that subscribe button, it helps us out a ton, and let's do more cool stuff for you guys. And if you are new to the channel and have not done so already, please feel free to check out the TTM Discord that will be linked in the description, where we have channels for not only draft format, but Smogon content and TCG as well. But yeah, anyway, on to the team. Like I said, we are up against Aster and his Montreal Habsols, and his team consists of Zapdos, Megapincer, Nihilego, Alolan Dugtrio, Dhelmise, Gardevoir, Conkeldurr, Volcanion, Malamar, Flygon, Miltank, and Ambipom, with both Volcanion and Flygon being his Z users. So very, very threatening team. It's a little bit slow, but he made some transactions that allowed him to really just kind of mitigate that and just kind of minimize the effect of the speed. Like, he got some faster stuff, so I'm not able to take as much advantage as I normally would be able to. So, I mean, really just looking at his team all over, like I said, it's kind of slow, but he just has some very, very solid threats. I mean, Volcanion is a gigantic threat. I mean, that thing, just with Steam Eruption being a more powerful Scald, super spammable against my team, as my only real water resists. One of them doesn't like being burnt, and that is the Salamence, and the other is Ferrothorn, which, I mean, Volcanion also has this little thing called the secondary typing, which is fire, and yeah, that kind of cooks Ferrothorn alive. So yeah, Volcanion's a huge threat against me, but I think I can take it on. I just have to take advantage of its speed and be able to deal with that as best as possible. And then also he has things like Megapincer, Nihilego, Zapdos, Dhelmise, Gardevoir, Conkeldurr. Really, he just has like a very, very solid team. Nothing really stands out to me apart from the Volcanion, but the rest of his team is still very good otherwise, to where I have to be very careful about how I play around them, because any particular mon could be devastating to my team if played correctly. So yeah, that's what I'm noticing against his team. Let's just go ahead and jump on into my team and what I am bringing against him. First and foremost, I am bringing a Specs Tapu Koko, as I noticed that, yeah, Special Tapu Koko really does a whole lot of work against him. His ground types are Alolan Dugtrio and Flygon, neither of which like taking a Specs Dazzling Gleam. So just being able to Specs Volt Switch like crazy against him is going to be insanely helpful. Just be able to get a ton of chip damage off, scout out sets, just be faster, and get momentum while getting off huge chunks of damage. I love Specs Tapu Koko in this matchup, to say the least. It's very, very strong, and I'm very excited to use it, as Aster and I probably both are, well, I know that I'm clinched, and I think Aster might be, but I mean, still, he's a very good player that I would like the chance to be able to beat this round. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to this match very much, and then Specs Tapu Koko is something that I'm really looking forward to using against him as well, with Dazzling Gleam, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, and HP Ground. Just Dazzling Gleam, little dual stab, really just covers his team very nicely, and then HP Ground is for the Nihilego, who can take my hits very, very well. But with HP Ground, I'm able to hit that thing 4 times super effectively, and just hopefully take that thing out to where I'm able to spam Specs T-Bolt or Volt Switch or Dazzling Gleam just for the rest of the game to wear down his threats. The speed is enough for an Alolan Dugtrio trying to speed creep me, speed creeping, well, not Alolan Dugtrio, for Ambipom trying to speed creep me, speed creeping Alolan Dugtrio. There we go, that's what it was for. Just maybe if he hits 350, he'll think that I'll hit like or if he hits 350, he'll have to think that I hit 351 or 352, so he'll probably hit like around 353, so 354 should be able to speed creep down. I'm being very aggressive so that I can run modest Specs Koko, as that little extra damage can really do work against his team, to where I would be okay with aggressive speed creeping. And also Ambipom is dealt with the rest of my team anyway, so I'm not overly worried about it. Next up, we do have a Dragonium Z, Dragon Dance Salamence, finally bringing this thing once again, because it has an incredible matchup in this game. I mean, just being able to, once it gets up to +1, the combination of moves that it has is really just good enough to take out a lot of his team. Like, this thing can absolutely put in the work if it gets up to +1, and I can actually get up to +1 against a decent amount. I mean, Zapdos, if it doesn't have like HP Ice or Toxic, which of course I will have to scout out, maybe like Miltank without T-Wave, a Alolan Dugtrio, if that's what he tries to use to check my Tapu Koko. Really, just if I'm able to get up to +1 with Salamence, I'm able to put in an immense amount of work, no pun intended, or pun intended. You know what? I'm horrible with puns, so I might as well just take them when I can get them. But yeah, this meant if I can get up to +1, it puts in the work. And also, like, Volcanion, a choice-locked Volcanion into like Fire Blast or something, I can take advantage of that with this Salamence. So that's really what I'm looking forward to. Just if I can get up to +1, this thing will bust through his team very, very hard with just Dragon Dance, Earthquake, Shadow Claw, and Outrage. Shadow Claw was my coverage move of choice because, I mean, let's be real, Outrage and Earthquake are really all I need against his team. But Shadow Claw is needed for like the Dhelmise and the Gardevoir so that I can take those things out without necessarily having to lock myself into Outrage. I only want to use Outrage after Gardevoir is gone, or when I just need to use my Z move, just click the Z Outrage to take something out, and then once I get up to +2, Shadow Claw and Earthquake should be sufficient to get me through a majority of his team to where eventually I can click Outrage to win the game. I decided to just go max. I mean, very, very standard spread, because the only likely Scarfer that will outspeed me, well, I mean, Nihilego could definitely be Scarfed. I mean, that's a thing, but if it's Scarf Nihilego, well, I exploit the heck out of that. So I'm not overly worried about Scarf Nihilego being brought. But things like Flygon could be Scarfed. I mean, I want to just, at the very least, tie that, or Zapdos. Like, he has two things that are dangerous enough and I would like to get rid of enough to where I just want to be able to speed tie them at the very worst and take them out. And if he doesn't run max speed, well, then Salamence will be able to outspeed those. So that's really what I'm going for with this Ment set. It'd just be very threatening, break through his team to where my remaining Mons can potentially finish up. Next up, we do have a Rocky Helmet Stealth Rock Ferrothorn with Stealth Rock, Leech Seed, Protect, and Toxic. This thing is more or less my Pinsir answer, and yes, I know that Ferrothorn definitely can get beat by Pinsir and gets beaten by Pinsir relatively easily. However, I want to punish Pinsir for going for Return, and if he goes for Double Edge, oh, well, Merry Christmas to me. But basically, I just want to get Pinsir in range of all of the attacks of my other Mons, just wear that thing down to where it can't really just come in and spam Return against my team. Yes, my Tapu Koko and Mega Pidgeot outspeed it, but if my Tapu Koko and Pidge both get worn down enough, then Pinsir can clean up with Quick Attack. So this is just kind of a, I'm going to wear down Mega Pinsir before it has the chance to sweep me after wearing down my team. Also can be nice for things like switch into Ambipom, make it take rocks, or make it take Rocky Helmet and Iron Barbs, a Alolan Dugtrio, just those types of things. Mainly, Ferrothorn just gets up rocks and then punishes stuff, and also can scout choice sets with Protect and wear things down with Toxic. So that's ultimately what I'm going for with this Ferrothorn. Just max defense, because I really didn't need it for a whole lot else. Just enough, I believe, to guaranteed live a +2 Adamant Return. It was either Adamant Return or Jolly Double Edge. I know I had guaranteed enough to be able to live that. I think it was Jolly Double Edge from Mega Pinsir after rocks was what I went for with this set. So yeah, that's Ferrothorn's job. Just get up rocks and punish physical hitters and wear them down to be in range of my other Mons. Next up, we do have an Assault Vest Necrozma. Now this is going to be my way of dealing with Volcanion, because as you can see, my team just did not have any switch-ins to Volcanion. Like, I can try to pivot around it, I can try to do this or that, but I really just don't have any dedicated switch-ins to Volcanion. Necrozma is going to be my initial switch-in because it can come in, take any one hit, and scout out the set. That's really what I need from Necrozma. I need it to be able to scout out the Volcanion set, and then with a combination of Assault Vest and the moves that I have, I should be able to at least do a decent amount of work against a team. I'm not thinking Necrozma is going to do an overly insane amount, but with the moves that I do have, I should be able to take on his team rather nicely. chase the Volcanion out. Hopefully it'll have to come in on rocks again and it'll be down to 50, or I can get some damage off on that with like a knockoff or an Earth Power, just something to that effect. Just be able to deal with the Volcanion and not let it sweep me from the beginning. The moveset is knockoff just for spamming Earth Power for the Volcanion, the Nihilego, and the Doug Trio. Photon Geyser is good coverage against his team, and then Power Gem for the Zapdos and Mega Pinsir just to be able to hit those guys harder. Enough speed to outspeed Modest Volcanion, and then, looks like I'm disconnected. Oh well, I'll just work offline for the rest of this team builder. But yeah, the speed is for Modest Volcanion. I maxed out special defense so that I could take hits as well as possible, and then threw the rest into special attack and Modest to be able to hit things. Really, this thing started out as being just max invested in special attack, but I decided that if I just went Modest, I could have a few more EVs to work with for special defense, so that's ultimately what I opted for. Next up, we do a Choice Scarf Swampert. Sorry if my voice sounded weird. I was like trying to stifle a cough for a second, so it was probably either way. Choice Scarf Swampert with Waterfall, Stone Edge, Earthquake, and Ice Punch. Honestly, Choice Scarf Swampert has a great matchup in this. Just is able to outspeed what it needs to, and hits very, very, very hard against his team. Carries super effective coverage for the majority of mons that I'm worried about. And yeah, I mean, that's really all I need to say about Scarf Swampert. Is speed tier is perfect for this matchup. Its coverage really is too. Just, I mean, it's dual stab along with Ice Punch and Stone Edge. Covers all that it really needs to. And yeah, that's pretty much all I need to say about it. I mean, it's a mon that I've been wanting to, well, not a mon, it's a set that I've been wanting to use since the beginning of the season. So I'm very excited that I'm finally going to be able to do that, because Swampert hits very hard. And I brought it in an offensive role once, was not able to actually use that in season, so I'm really hoping that I will be able to use Swampert effectively in this matchup. The speed is, with the Choice Scarf, it hits the exact same speed as Tapu Koko does, so basically just aggressively speed creeping Ambipom, speed creeping me, speed creeping the Alolan Doug Trio type of thing. And then finally we have Mega Pidgeot with Hurricane, Toxic U-Turn, and HP Ground. Not bothering with Roost or anything like that, just because I need all of these moves to do sufficient damage against his team. Hurricane is very spammable apart from Zapdos and Nihilego, both of which I can hit with Toxic and HP Ground respectively and outspeed them. Really, this is just kind of a, I want to deter things like Mega Pinsir, Conkeldurr from coming in. Nihilego, I won't be able to OHKO it just because Nihilego's special defense is pretty awesome. And actually, I don't know why I'm going to go ahead and fix those really quickly. Oh no, not 310. Oops. There we go. All right. So yeah, that's something that you have to look out for with Hidden Power, just to make sure. Actually, let me check with Koko. Yeah, Koko's all good. But anyway, sorry, distracted for a second. But yeah, I mean, Mega Pidge just is able to cover everything on his team, get momentum. Hurricane is very spammable, and if I'm able to either Toxic the Zapdos or HP Ground the Nihilego, it just puts me in a great position for late game. Wearing down Zapdos is fantastic for things like Salamence and Swampert, whereas HP Grounding the Nihilego is great for the Tapu Koko. So really, this is just kind of a support Mega Pidge, force in the things that I need to wear down and get the appropriate move off on them. So yeah, that's the team. Hope you guys will tune in Wednesday for the showdown, and thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and this is Styx signing out. Why not? See you guys.